Hello and welcome to my first video blog. In the past few years, I had an honor to work with more than 700 handlers to help them improve their performance on the course. We have been working from building stamina to getting fitter, but most of all we were doing on the right running technique. So in this first video, I want to share with you my knowledge and experiences regarding how the handlers are running and how the right technique can help you get faster on the course. We'll be talking about acceleration. But let's first watch one sequence from running on the course.
Okay.
As you can see in slow motion footage, first step after the second jump is immediately on her heels. With that movement, she continues through all the sequence. The biggest downside of that running technique is that she is too late with the jump number 4 and the dog starts to spin on the spot. After out, her first step is on flat foot, which causes lack of acceleration and less flexibility going to the next obstacle. Heel running. When your foot touches the ground with heel first. Flat foot running. When your foot touches the ground with the whole foot. Now let's transfer that motion into the theoretical part. In the video you saw two running techniques. First running on heels and the second was running on a flat foot. There are a couple of downsides running on heels. First one is definitely lack of acceleration, which means when you start running on your heels, first your foot has to go on heels, then it has to go on flat foot, then on front part, and where the acceleration actually happens. So you need twice as much time to start accelerating when you're running on your heels. The second thing is pressure on your spine. So which means every time you hit with your heels on the ground, you put a lot of pressure on your spine. So which is very wrong in a long-term view. The second running technique was flat foot. Flat foot is the same thing, lack of acceleration, which means you feel yourself like your feet are from stones. You really maneuver yourself very heavy and you have no flexibility whatsoever. But what is front part running? How does it look like? So far we are just talking about running on heels and running on flat foot. Running on front part of the foot is just nothing else but if then you're running on your front part of your shoes, which means this part. With this, when you're running like this, you're not just having more mobility, but the most important, you're starting to accelerate with full power, which is very important with the handling to be as much as possible faster to one obstacle to the other. If we transfer that video into theoretical part again. When running on front part of the feet, we eliminate additional time that is needed if we run on heels or on flat foot. And the result is ability to accelerate with no distraction at all. Second thing is flexibility and mobility. If you are running all the time on your front part of the feet when you're on the course, you can maneuver yourself much more faster, much more easier, and with much more power, which is very important in the handling. Okay, this was theoretical part. But how to transfer that to the practice? I have prepared for you a couple of free exercises so you will start learning how to run in your front part of the feet, or as I like to call them, happy feet. First exercise, you just take one bar or whatever you have and place it on the ground. You will start going across the bar only on your front part of the feet, which means on this part of your feet. You start slowly going across the bar just on your front part of the feet. First couple of repetitions, you can start looking at your feet that they are going straight and as much as possible on your front part. After a while, you can start increasing the speed when you feel comfortable with the movement. And your task or your main goal is that you start looking forward and doing the exercise without looking at your feet. Start with 30 seconds just going across the bar in a slow pace. After a while, increase the speed and go for another 30 seconds. When you feel comfortable, start looking forward. Second exercise, side movement. You will go across the bar only on your front part of the feet, with both feet on each side. Again, start with 30 seconds looking at your feet, and then when you feel comfortable, you can increase speed. Try as much as possible that your feet are parallel, that you do not cross like this, but they are parallel. And when you feel more comfortable, start looking forward and executing the exercise. When you will feel comfortable with the first two exercises, put the bars parallel to each other, 30 centimeters apart. And you can start going across the bar with front part of the feet, like this. Front, which means you go with one leg inside and out, there are two. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. And this, you start with the duration of 30 seconds. First watching how your feet are going, and then you can start watching forward and executing the exercise. These are all exercises that you can start doing at home or when you're on training. You start like walking on a spot, just on your front part of the feet. Do not go with your heels on the ground. After a couple of seconds, start going forward, putting your foot on your front part of the feet, just putting it before it. Upper body straight, and you're going. The second exercise is the same, but you start putting your foot just before your other foot. Imagine a straight line and go. Be careful that you have your upper body straight and that your foot are in a straight line. And the last exercise is the same, but with going backwards. Very important that you're going in a straight line. So these are a couple of exercises that will start teaching you how to start running on your front part of the feet. The process of transferring heel running to front part running, it's difficult, but it's possible. You have to train it and practice. It's like with a dog. When you're training the dog with a dog walk, that's not natural movement. You have to practice, practice, practice. The same thing is with front part running. Practice, practice, practice. But there's one catch. Outside the course, you will do it perfectly. The problem is when you're going into the course with a dog. As we know, handling is multi-practicing. But we'll talk about that in the next vlogs. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video blog.